Sean Miller, welcome to the Seth Davis Show.
Great to be here.
Good to see you. Appreciate the chance to watch you run practice today. Starting now your 5th year at Arizona, am I right? It's probably hard to believe. Season is starting up pretty soon. The way experts like myself have mapped this thing out, you know I'm never wrong about these things. I see 6 teams: Kentucky, Louisville, Michigan State, Kansas, Duke, Arizona. Tier 1 preseason. Sound right to you?
You know, Seth, maybe every coach is more critical of themselves or the team that they coach. And giving you an honest answer, not playing possum at all. I think one of the things that's different for me as a coach is generally the teams that have done well that I've coached, whether it be at Xavier or Arizona, had kind of an older veteran type of feel to it, even if our best players weren't juniors and seniors. But nonetheless, we had a variety at a lot of them. Even a year ago, being a Sweet 16 team, being a team that won 27 games, we were really a function of 3 seniors, older, experienced players: Kevin Parham, Solomon Hill, and Mark Lyons. Losing them, although I believe we've replaced them with talent, it's different for me, especially with that type of high expectations, because we're doing drills. You saw it today, and it's like you have to explain the drill because we have a number of players that haven't ever been here before and have never done the drill before. So I think we're a team that will get better and better as the year goes on, especially with health. But I don't necessarily know if we'll start off with that team that, was in a Final Four last year and returns everybody, and you just know what you're going to get before we even play. I think some of what we hope is going to happen is just that. We're optimistic. We hope it's going to happen, but we don't have evidence or proof that it's happened before. In other words, that experience to me isn't necessarily in place.
Very athletic team, very tall team, maybe the potential to be a deep team depending on how things shake out. You want to try to get out and run a little bit more this year to generate that kind of offense and take advantage of those assets?
Yeah, I think we have a lot of versatility in a group of 7 or 8 players. If you look at even the 2 freshmen of our 3, Aaron Gordon and Rondé Jefferson, what makes them good is they can do a lot of things. They're very good defensively. And why they're good defensively? They're multiple position defenders, and offensively it's the same. They can pass, they rebound, they can push the ball in transition. So yes, I think with that we have to be an outstanding defensive team. We have to be an outstanding rebounding team on offense and defense. And I think some of the points we have to generate to get us in transition have to come off of those things right there. And every coach has to adapt to the personality and talents within the team they have. That's where our talent lies, and I think the size and maybe the versatility of our players. If we walk it up and just go half court versus half court, we may not be the team that everybody hopes we can be. But I think if we get out in transition and can manufacture baskets off of some of those things we just talked about, I think we'll be fine. And most importantly, I believe we'll improve as the year goes on.
Step back for me, Sean, and just give me kind of a big picture take on Arizona basketball. Obviously, this was not a program that needed a whole lot of rebuilding when you got here. It was one of the great programs in the country, thanks to the great Lute Olson. You left a great program in Xavier to come here, so you knew that. But you sort of knew, maybe in a big picture way, that the program has to grow and evolve and improve. So now that this is your 5th year, chart for me sort of where the program has come in these last 5 years, and what's that next step that as a program you need to take, or is it just simply a matter of continuing to recruit guys that can win a lot of games?
First of all, I came here because of the incredible tradition that's been in place. Teams, 4 Final Four teams, a Hall of Fame coach who's as good as anyone who's ever coached the game, Lute Olson. And when you look at the talent level over a 20-year period of time, it rivals the name of whatever program you think was the best? If you say, for example, North Carolina in the East, the most talented team or program of the last 20 years, and put us against it, Arizona, and you'll be astonished at like some of the team pictures you marvel at. The other purpose or reason that I would say that I came to Arizona is it was in an awkward transition. I think if everything was just absolutely smooth and, Coach Olson kind of coached his last game and then rode into the sunset, I don't know if it was necessarily would have been set up for success for all the reasons that we all know. Because of kind of an awkward 4-year period of time, it gave me a chance and our staff a chance. On the negative side, there was a little rebuilding, some good fortune. Getting Derek Williams and Solomon Hill, when we did, allowed us to have an Elite Eight in our second year and maybe get both feet on the ground sooner than we maybe thought we could have. And then on the flip side of things, I think it was scary at the beginning, things that you may have thought were in place, how the locker room looked, how you traveled from not only your team travel, but coaches. Things changed around the country, and maybe at Arizona during that period, things weren't moving in that direction. So from our perspective, we have tremendous support here. I mean, again, one of the reasons that I really wanted to come to Arizona is I played in McHale as a player. There's very few places that give you the feeling that McHale Center does on game night. And one of the things that helped us initially, Seth, is, to your point about the great tradition, people understand what Arizona is. The name still had great significance, and part of why we are successful recruiting, or if we've had success, believe me, it's attributed to as much about what's happened here before we came as who I am when we walk in the gym as the new staff. So I think it was almost like, I don't want to say the perfect storm, but I think it allowed you to put your own personality on the program, get credit, and I think having a fan base that was patient because of that awkward period. But no doubt about it, that tradition still is the backbone of what we have.